Chapter 589, The Curse of Imhotep. It opens in a flashback. 1290 BC, Ancient Egypt. Narrator, Thebes, City of the Living. Crown jewel of Pharaoh Seti I, home of Imhotep, Pharaoh's high priest, keeper of the dead, birthplace of Anxunamun, Pharaoh's mistress. No other man was allowed to touch her. But for their love, they were willing to risk life itself. As the doors were closing, Pharaoh Seti I came in and he saw Imhotep's priests. Pharaoh, in ancient Egyptian, what are you doing here? He walked up to Anxunamun and saw a black spot on her arm. Pharaoh, who has touched you? He turned and saw Imhotep as he unsheathed a sword. Pharaoh, Imhotep. My priest. Then Anxunamun stabbed him in the back and they butchered him. Pounding on the door was heard. Imhotep, in ancient Egyptian, Pharaoh's bodyguards. Suddenly they bursted in. Imhotep, in ancient Egyptian to Anxunamun, you shall live again. I will resurrect you. They saw Anxunamun. Anxunamun, in ancient Egyptian, my body is no longer his temple. Commits suicide. Narrator, to resurrect Anxunamun, Imhotep and his priests broke into her crypt and stole her body. They raced deep into the desert, taking Anxunamun's corpse to Hamunaptra, city of the dead, ancient burial site for the sons of pharaohs, and resting place for the wealth of Egypt. For his love, Imhotep dared the gods' anger by going deep into the city, where he took the Black Book of the Dead from its holy resting place. Anxunamun's soul had been sent to the dark underworld, her vital organs removed and placed in 5 sacred canopic jars. A black ghostly figure came out of a pool and went into Anxunamun's body. Narrator, Anxunamun's soul had come back from the dead. But Pharaoh's bodyguards had followed Imhotep, and stopped him before the ritual could be completed. Imhotep's priests were condemned to be mummified alive. As for Imhotep, he was condemned to endure the Hamdai, the worst of all ancient curses. One so horrible it had never before been bestowed. They cut off Imhotep's tongue and he screamed. Then they wrapped him in bandages and put him in a coffin and then put flesh-eating scarabs on him and he screamed in pain as they put the sarcophagus lid on and locked it. Narrator, he was to remain sealed inside his sarcophagus, the undead for all eternity. The Medjay would never allow him to be released. For he would arise a walking disease, a plague upon mankind, an unholy flesh-eater with the strength of the ages, power over the sands, and the glory of invincibility. A timeline shows of everything that has happened over the course of 3,309 years in the ruined city of Hamunaptra. Narrator, for 3,309 years men and armies fought over this city not knowing what evil lay beneath it, and for 3,309 years we, the Medjay, the descendants of Pharaoh's sacred bodyguards, kept watch. Gotham Royal York, 2019. In the present day I woke up panting and I was covered in cold sweat. Me, panting? Wow. That dream again. It looked and felt so real. It was 8 a.m. and I got ready. At breakfast I was telling everyone about my dream and they were shocked. Lincoln, a dream about ancient Egypt? Me, yet. I had this dream for 10 days straight. I think it's trying to tell me something. Lainey, what is it JD? Me, I don't know Lainey. I think it's a warning and a message that something is coming and it will spell disaster for the planet if we don't stop it. Also I saw Pharaoh Seti I of Egypt from 1290 BC. My dream is somehow connected to him and the evil high priest Imhotep. Lucy, maybe I can help you figure that out. Me, thanks Lucy. In Lucy's crypt room Lucy had me sit on the floor in a spell circle. Lucy, just relax JD. This spell will tell you everything. Me, okay Lucy. Lucy began the seance. Lucy, spirit of Pharaoh Seti I, please hear my call. My second big brother JD. Knudsen is having a dream about you and he needs answers. The wind blew and the candles went out and out of the floor came the spirit of Pharaoh Seti I of Egypt. I got up and knelt to him. Me, Pharaoh Seti I, it's an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Pharaoh, it's a pleasure to meet you too, JD. I heard you were having a dream about me. Me? Yes, and I've been having this dream for 10 days straight. Pharaoh, I see. The reason for this is simple. You are me reincarnated. I gasped. Me? How can that be, Your Majesty? I know that most of humanity originated in Africa because we came from the cradle of Good Hope. But how is that possible? Pharaoh, yes, we did come from the cradle of Good Hope, but it was the Fertile Crescent that set us up. For eons all of humankind has had ties to Egypt. Me? That's true. Pharaoh, yes. I'm glad I came. The world is in great danger. Me? How so, Your Majesty? Pharaoh, my traitorous High Priest Imhotep is going to return and try to destroy the planet. Me? Gasp. But he can't be brought back, or else it will bring death and destruction to the world. Pharaoh, I know you and your friends can stop him if he returns. Me? I know we can. I'll do it and make him pay for killing you. 3,309 years worth of pain and suffering will come to him. Pharaoh, be careful. Me? I will. I got everyone together and we were off to Egypt. Egypt, 2019. We were on a boat and learning all about what a woman named Evelyn Camehan told us. With us was Rick O'Connell. Rick, plunking his backpack in front of Evie, who is startled. Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. Evie, the only thing that scares me, Mr. O'Connell, are your manners. Rick, still angry about that kiss? Evie, if you call that a kiss. Wonder Woman, a kiss needs to be meaningful. Me, we're going to Hamunaptra to kill Imhotep, the evil high priest of Pharaoh Seti I from 3,309 years ago. Jesse K, and we're also going there to get the legendary Golden Book of Amun-Re and the Black Book of the Dead. Maria, Lady Tefnut told me about Imhotep. He killed Pharaoh Seti I all those years ago and now he's going to destroy all of us. Me, yet. A clatter was heard and Rick went over and pulled out his old friend Benny. Rick, well, if it ain't my little buddy Benny. I think I'll kill you. Ready's gun. Stewie, gets blaster out, I'll help you with that. Me too. Ready's 50 caliber gun. Benny, think of my children. Rick, you don't have any children. Benny, someday I might. Rick, shut up. So you're the one who's leading the Americans. So what's the scam, Benny? You take them out to the middle of the desert, and then you leave them to rot? Benny, unfortunately, no. These Americans are smart. They pay me only half now, half when I get them back to Cairo. So this time I must go all the way. Rick, them's the breaks. Hi. Holsters gun. Benny, you never believed in Hamunaptra, O'Connell. Why are you going back? Rick, looking at Evie, see that girl? She saved my neck. Spy day, and with great power comes great responsibility. Something you wouldn't understand. Benny, you always did have more guts than brains. Same goes for your new friends. Laughs. Rick, laughs along. Goodbye, Benny, throws him overboard. Me, little, censored. Suddenly gunfire was heard and we joined in a powerful fight as a vicious battle ensued with a terroristic cult gang. We were blowing them apart with blasts of fire and splattering their blood and guts all over the place. Me, you, censored, terrorists make me sick. I blew them apart and killed them. Rick, can any of you guys swim? Maria, I can swim. And I can turn into water. Evie, and I can swim if the occasion calls for it. Rick, picks her up. Trust me, it calls for it. Throws her overboard. Maria, Rick, I hope you know what you're doing. Swims after her. We were blasting the cold men apart. We then got off the boat and we had everyone safe. Benny, hey, O'Connell. It looks to me like I've got all the horses. Rick. Hey, Benny. Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river. Phage. And you're on the wrong side of the law. Me. Stupid man. We then got camels and horses and we were heading out towards Hamunaptra. We trekked into the desert and it was hot. Odd. I can't believe how hot it is here. Maria. Chuckles relax. Odd. If you need water, I'll make some for you to drink. Odd. Thanks Maria. At sunrise we saw Benny and the others. Benny. Good morning everyone. Me. Benny. Evie. You know, nasty little fellows such as yourself always get their comeuppance. Benny. Scoffs. Then serious. They do? Evie. Oh, yes. Always. Bloom. And we usually are the ones who make sure those nasty little fellows get what they deserve. Me. Yep. Jerry. You must be the nicest version of Mr. Burns we've ever met. Burns? Thanks Jerry. Me. Yeah, the Mr. Burns we knew was a heartless, selfish monster. Henderson. I'm glad he got what he deserved. Me. Yet. We saw the sun rise and the desert revealed Hamunaptra. Me. There it is. Henderson. Well, you look at that. Daniels. Can you believe it? Burns. Hamunaptra. Rick. Here we go again. We rode and flew to the city and set up game. Me. Okay, from what I remember the Book of the Dead is in the statue of Anubis. Lincoln. How do you know that? Me. I just know. Evelyn. Points to the statue. That's it right there. Me. Yep. But half of it has been buried underground. And it's also where the key was found. Evelyn. You told me you got it on a dig down in Thebes. Jonathan. Yes. Well, I was mistaken. Evie. You lied to me. Jonathan. I lie to everybody. What makes you so special? Evelyn. I am your sister. Jonathan. Yes. Well, that just makes you more gullible. Cornelia. I may be lying to my little sister about a secret, but you're lying to your own sister because of your greed. Me. Alright, you guys knock it off. We have work to do. I use my powers and lift up the statue of Anubis and unearthed it and brought it onto the surface. Me. There. Hold on though. It's too easy. Lincoln. I know. Lincoln fired a laser of lightning and there was a line along a secret compartment and I sensed something and formed a force field and a massive blast of salt acid fired from the opening and it dissolved at the force field. Me. It's pressurized salt acid. Rick. Some kind of ancient booby trap. Me. Built 3,309 years ago. Irma. Who do you think built it? Nico. Good question. Egyptologist. This is our dig site. Me. We got here first. We had guns pointed at each other. Daniels. This here is our statue friend. Rick. I don't see your name written on it, pal. Benny. Yes. Well, there's only 7 of you and 15 of me. Your odds are not so great, O'Connell. Me. Check those numbers again. Censored. All of Team Loud Phoenix Storm appeared. Me. You want the statue, then come and take it. Very. If you can. They lowered their weapons knowing they can't take all of us on because of our power. Me. Good. Now beat it. Nico. Guys, I see something by where we unearthed the statue. Aline C. What is it? Nico went down and lifted up a sarcophagus. Evelyn. Oh my gosh, it's a sarcophagus. Buried at the base of Anubis. Cody. I wonder who this belongs to. Me. Let's find out. Lana. Lisa. You keep digging the compartment. Lisa. Affirmative. Lainey. This is gonna be interesting. I dust off the top of the sarcophagus and it said an ominous phrase. Me. He whom shall not be named. That is freaky. Lainey. Yet. What do you think it means? Me. Let's find out. I take the key and open it and we opened the sarcophagus and we pulled out another coffin. Evie. Oh. I've dreamt about this since I was a little girl. Rick. You dream about dead guys? Scream. Not what she meant. Jonathan unlocked the coffin and we opened it, and it opened and out came a skeletal mummy that was weird and still juicy. Evie screams. Oh my gosh, I hate it when these things do that. Me. This mummy is weird. Rick. Is he supposed to look like that? Evie. No, I've never seen a mummy like this before. He's still. Me. Rick and Jonathan. In unison. Juicy. Me. He's still decomposing even after 3,309 years have passed. Lucy, can you identify who this mummy is? Lucy. I sure can, JD. Lucy used her powers and she gasped in horror. Lana. What's wrong, Lucy? Lucy. That mummy is Imhotep. Me. So this is the fate you have suffered, my high priest. Evie. What? Me. Guys, I have something to tell you. I am Pharaoh Seti, I reincarnated. Lainey. Whoa. Riley. That's amazing, JD. I didn't know you were a pharaoh of Egypt brought back to life as someone else. Me. It sure is amazing. I was killed by Imhotep 3,309 years ago, and I brought us all here to kill him and make sure that he stays dead for good. Lincoln. That's amazing. Clyde. It sure is. Rachel. Reincarnation works in mysterious ways. William. I didn't know you were a pharaoh long ago, JD. Me. Yes. It's a long story, 3,309 years into the making. Nico. We would like to hear it. May. Yet. Lola. Hey, look at these marks. We saw marks on the back of the coffin cover. Lily. What are these marks? Evelyn. My gosh, these marks were made with. She saw that they were scratch marks. Evelyn. Fingernails. Me. These are scratch marks. Evelyn. Imhotep was buried alive. Me. Hey, there's writing on here. I read it and translate it. Me. Death is only the beginning. That is really ominous. We looked at the mummy and we had no idea what kind of horrible pain he must have endured all those years ago while he was still alive. Lana. We got the box out. Me. Okay. We go over and I looked it over. Me. This chest is cursed. Lola. It's cursed. Lainey. How is that? Me. Let's see. I read an ancient Egyptian text on the top of the chest. Me. Death will come on swift wings to whomsoever opens this chest. Linka. That is ominous. Tyranny. Yeah, and it's scary. Me. Yep. There's more. It says there is one, the undead, who, if brought back to life, is bound by sacred law to consummate this curse. He will kill all who open this chest and assimilate their organs and fluids, and in so doing, he will regenerate and no longer be the undead, but a plague upon this earth. Whoa. That is one stiff curse Imhotep put on this chest. Lynn. It sure is. I think our powers will make sure he doesn't do so to us. Me. Yes, our powers will not let that happen. They have to be earned. Let's stand back. Mr. Burns, Daniels, Henderson, care to do the honors? Burns? Sure. Burns and Henderson opened the chest and a blast of white dust blew onto them and the Egyptologist. Me. Wow. I pull back some wrappings and in the chest was the Black Book of the Dead. Me. The Black Book of the Dead. Jesse K. That's a very powerful artifact of Egyptian history. Me. It sure is, Jesse. This book holds the key to resurrection. Even though we have that kind of power. Vince. It's still in good shape even after all this time. Carol. Yet. Me. This is supposed to be where the Book of Amun-Ra was to be in. We must have mixed the books up. Let's me see. I concentrated and found the Book of Amun-Ra. Me. Aha. The Book of Amun-Ra is in the statue of Horus. Let me work my magic. I snapped my fingers and the statue of Horus, the god of life, appeared. Me. There it is. Lana and Lisa found the compartment and they pulled out a wooden box and I opened it. In wrappings was the Golden Book of Amun-Ra. Me, there it is. Evie, the Golden Book of Amon-Ra. Later that night we were talking. Burns, so you guys found both the Book of Amon-Ra and the Book of the Dead? Me, we sure did. And we also found the mummy of my high priest Imhotep. Henderson, that's amazing. Evie, hey guys. Look at this. Lincoln, what did you find, Ms. Evie? Evie, scarab skeletons. Flesh eaters. I found them inside Imhotep's coffin. They can stay alive for years feasting on the flesh of a corpse. Unfortunately for him, he was still alive when they started eating him. Me, I'm not surprised. Imhotep was the most evil traitor in all of Egypt, and he did kill me 3,309 years ago. Jonathan, well, he certainly wasn't a popular fellow when they planted him, was he? Lincoln, no he wasn't. Cody, I've read all about Imhotep in my days as a drifter, and he was the high priest of Pharaoh Seti I all those years ago. He was also the keeper of the dead. Rick, you know, he probably got a little too frisky with the Pharaoh's daughter. Me, no, it was worse than that, Rick. He was having an affair with my mistress Angsunamun. Lola, that dirtbag. Me, my thoughts exactly, Lola. Not only have we come here to get the artifacts of Hamunaptra and the treasure of Egypt and bring it all to museums around the world, but we're also going to avenge my past life and kill Imhotep for causing 3,309 years of pain and suffering. Evie, well, according to my readings, Imhotep suffered the Hamdai, the worst of all ancient Egyptian curses, one reserved only for the most evil of blasphemers. Lainey, that curse sounds scary. Vince, I know that curse all too well. Me and Naruto performed it on an evil Sasuke we killed. Me, I remember seeing that, partner. Evie, in my research, I've never heard of this curse having actually been performed. Rick, that bad, huh? Evie, yes, well, they never used it because they feared it so. It's written that if a victim of the Hamdai should ever arise, he will bring with him the 10 plagues of Egypt. Carol, the very same plagues Moses used through the power of God in the Bible? Evie, that's them. Me, dangerous. And Pharaoh Ramesses paid the ultimate price because of those plagues. It was because of his stubbornness and arrogance that he brought those plagues onto Egypt. But we didn't come here just to find Imhotep and look at him. We came to kill him. Lincoln, yep. The next morning, while Rick, Evie, and Jonathan were in the ruins, I take the key and opened the Book of the Dead. Me, here we go. I read in ancient Egyptian from the book, and we saw the mummy become alive and it roared. Me, this is it, guys. In the ruins some of us drink water and we spit it out as it tasted unpleasant. Henderson, wipes lips sweet cheese. It tasted just like. Rick, drops shot glass in shock. Stands up blood. Camera focuses on the water bucket Rick is seeing. The water is blood red. Jonathan, quoting from Bible, and the rivers and waters of Egypt ran red, as were as blood. Rick, about Imhotep, he's here. Sydney, and he's not happy. I snap my fingers and Imhotep was back to what he was 3,309 years ago. Me, welcome back to the land of the living, Imhotep. Imhotep, an ancient Egyptian, so you are the one that brought me back. Me, yes, my high priest. You killed me 3,309 years ago, and now I am reborn and here to return the favor. Imhotep was shocked when he heard me say that. Imhotep, an ancient Egyptian, you can't be. Me, yes. I'm Pharaoh Seti I reincarnated. It's been a long time, my high priest. Sandman, summons a sand fist from the wall to hit Imhotep. You want to know what I like about Egypt? All the sand I can command here. He punched Imhotep in the face and sent him crashing into the wall. Me, you still have much to learn after all this years. You should have never touched my mistress. I punched Imhotep in the face and he sent a massive swarm of flies at me and I blew them away with a blast of wind. Nico, fires blights radiation blasts at Imhotep. Imhotep, you have failed this country. Imhotep screams as Nico hits him with a fireball from Pyro. Nico, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you liked being lit on fire. My bad. Imhotep had the fire put out and he was standing. Unstoppable. To Imhotep for once. You're not saying any Egyptian gibberish towards us. Why don't we keep it that way? Nico fired numerous feather projectiles at him. Nico, to Imhotep, you like what I just attacked you with? It's technological made feathers from an old enemy of ours. Then Imhotep disappeared into the sands. Where did he go? Me, he went into the ruins. Let's go. Kim possible, we're gonna keep chasing Imhotep everywhere he goes. Until there's nowhere left for him to run. Luan, he'll be wanting his mummy. Laughs, get it? Me, love the jokes Luan, but now is not the time. We went after Imhotep. In the ruins we ran and we saw Mr. Burns on the ground and he had his eyes and tongue ripped out. Evie was up against the wall and she was frightened. Jerry, oh my gosh. Me, geez. We saw Imhotep. Me, I'm not through with you yet, Imhotep. Rick, finding Evie staring at the resurrected corpse of Imhotep. There you are. You've been playing hide and seek. Now come on, let's get out of here. Sees Imhotep for the first time. Whoa. Imhotep roars. Rick roars back and shoots Imhotep with his shotgun. Move. Lasher, all of us run, we need to get out of here. Rick, hey. Wait for me. Me, this isn't over, my high priest. We will return. William, Maria, don't waste your breath trying to trash talk Imhotep. Maria smirks, don't worry, William. I know Imhotep can't speak English. But I'll make sure to speak in a language that he can understand. Blasts water at Imhotep. She sends him crashing into the walls. We went back to Cairo. In Cairo, Egypt, we waited. We knew that Imhotep was gonna come after us. We were at the museum planning a strategy and we saw the caretaker of the museum, and with him was the leader of the Medjay, Ardith Bey. Curator, Ms. Carnahan, ladies and gentlemen of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Me, Ardith Bey. After 3,309 years, it's good to see you again, my friend. Ardith Bey, Arabic accent. It's good to see you again, my pharaoh. Me, yes. Evie, how do you know him, JD? Me, Ardith Bey is one of the descendants of my sacred bodyguards that have watched over me 3,309 years ago. They are the ones that caught Imhotep and got him cursed with the Hamdai. Ardith Bey, that's right. Lincoln, we have come to kill Imhotep. Me, yes. Curator, we are part of an ancient secret society. For over 3,300 years we have guarded the city of the dead. We are sworn at manhood to do any and all in our part to stop the high priest Imhotep from being reborn into this world. Me, and I promise you he will be stopped. Daniels, yeah, and you know how he gets himself fully regenerated? Henderson, by killing everyone who opened that chest. Daniels, and sucking them dry, that's how. Me, I know. Also I know what he's gonna do. He wants to bring back Anxunamun. Curator, it was because of his love for Anxunamun that he was cursed. Apparently even after 3,300 years. Ardith Bey, he is still in love with her. Me, I have a strong feeling that he's here already. Mr. Burns, I'm so pleased to meet you. Benny grabs his hand. Benny, Prince Imhotep does not like to be touched. A silly Eastern superstition, I'm afraid. Mr. Burns, please forgive me. Benny, Mr. Burns, Prince Imhotep thanks you for your hospitality. Mr. Burns, no. Benny, and for your eyes, and for your tongue. Mr. Burns, wah. Benny, but I'm afraid more is needed. The prince must finish the job and consummate the curse, which you and your friends have brought down upon yourselves. Will, not if we can help it, dirtbag. Will swooped in and kicked him in the face and sent him crashing into a wall. We showed up. Me, I knew you were here, my high priest. Cornelia then grabbed him in vines. Cornelia, wraps Imhotep in vines. Sorry, buddy. But you got regenerated just so you could die. About to make vines rip him apart. He was ripped into pieces. Me, let's get him, guys. Hit him with everything we got. Imhotep pulled himself back together and I punched him in the face and kick him in the stomach, and then I go Super Angel 3. Me, I've had it with you, Imhotep. I put a force field over the city to protect everything and I kicked him in the face and sent him into the air. Me, let's get him. Guardians unite. We turned into our guardians. Will, the heart. Irma, water. Tyranny, fire. Cornelia, earth. Halen, air. Me, lightning. Elian, time. Megan, space. Matt became Shagan. I flew up to Imhotep and kicked him and blasted him with lightning. Lynn fired a huge blast of lava and burned Imhotep, and Sandman fired a huge blast of sand at him. Lynn, combo time. Flint. Sandman, you got it, Lynn. Lynn fired a blast of lava and Sandman fired a blast of sand. Lynn and Sandman, volcanic sandstorm hurricane. The blasts combined and turned into a flaming sandstorm and burned Imhotep badly. Lynn, here's a taste of my final smash. She used her final smash. Lynn, Tambara eruption. Lynn fired a powerful blast of lava and fire that carried the explosive power of when Mount Tambara erupted in 1815, and it burned Imhotep really badly. Sandman, let's see how you like my final smash. Sandman used his final smash. Sandman, Martian dust hurricane. He fired a massive blast of Mars red dust and it had winds at 175 miles per hour and blew him around in a powerful tornado. Halen, combo time. Arpeggio. Arpeggio, British accent, let's do it. Halen fired a tornadic blast of wind and Arpeggio fired numerous feathers. Halen and Arpeggio, Hurricane Razor Feather Storm. The blasts combined and shredded at him and it was deadly. I punched Imhotep all over the place. Imhotep got up. Imhotep, in ancient Egyptian, so you wish to kill me? Me, I don't just plan to kill you, my high priest. I plan to send you to an even greater hell than what you already went through. We really went at each other and it was a massive and brutal fight. We were exchanging ultra-powerful blows at each other that shook the entire planet to the core. Imhotep was punching, kicking, and pulverizing me all over the place, and then I belched up a huge amount of blood and it got onto his face and burned his eyes and he screamed in pain. Me, didn't expect that, did you? My blood is a deadly super poison that can kill the mightiest of immortal beings. Nico fired a blast of energy and burned Imhotep's leg off. Nico, combo time. Diana. Wonder Woman, right. Nico fired Vulture's feathers and Wonder Woman threw her tiara. Nico and Wonder Woman, Amazon feather shuriken. The feathers in tiara hit him and skewered and hurt him bad. We landed on the ground and I had blood dripping from my mouth and face. I had shredded clothes and bleeding cuts from my hands and arms and legs. Me, you fought well, my high priest. But this is the end for you. Imhotep, in ancient Egyptian, not yet. He then called his servants. We heard something approaching. Cornelia, here's sounds approaching the muddle. I think we're about to have visitors. Me, I see them. It's his servants. We saw multiple mummies coming. Me, Lincoln, Linka, Gabrielle, destroy them. Lincoln, right. I fired a blast of lightning at Imhotep and immobilized him. Me, time to finish this. I take out the Book of Amun-Re and open it. Me, let's see. I scroll through the spells and I found one. Me, here we go. Reads in ancient Egyptian, Kadish Mal. Kadish Mal. Perdus. Perdus. The spirits of the Egyptian gods came and rode through Imhotep, and his powers and immortality and invincibility were stripped from him and he was made mortal. Me, now to finish you for good, Imhotep. I unsheathed my sword and stabbed him all the way through his chest, and I fired a blast of fire at him and completely incinerated him into ashes in an instant. His spirit then appeared. Nicole, after 3,309 years we have finally had enough of you, freak. She pulled out the Book of Vile Darkness. Nicole, chants an incantation, Aldruan in Lenthranal Vasalon Lyris Nor. The spirit of Imhotep went into the book and he was sealed into it for all eternity. Me, that's that. Nico, and stay down, scumbag. After 3,309 years, Imhotep, the ultimate enemy of Egypt and the world, was defeated and sealed away for all eternity. Sam SL, good riddance. He needed to be destroyed no matter what. My past life can now rest in peace after 3,309 years. After we defeated Imhotep, we hunted down all of his followers and killed them and sealed them into the Book of Vile Darkness. We then went back to Hamunaptra and collected all the treasure in it, and after doing so, to make sure that Hamunaptra never terrorizes the world again, we blew up the city and destroyed it completely, erasing it from all existence forever. We donated all the treasure to museums all over the world, and we kept some of it and kept the books of the dead and the living and built a special exhibit for them. Carmen, well, it wasn't exactly a day at the beach, but it was worth it. Spy Day, if you guys need me, I'll be getting all the sand out of my costume. Sandman, laughs, just be glad that none of the sand is me this time, Pete. Me, yet. Cornelia, to the viewers, this was an awesome adventure in Egypt. We're in for more later. Irma, Sydney, what was it like when you became Quarry? Sydney, it felt like something was about to burst out of my body. My clothes were bursting at the seams and I was always trying to keep my mind. Me, ouch. But I'm glad we won against Imhotep. Burn in hell, Imhotep. Another fanfiction complete. The Mummy from 1999 was an awesome movie, and Brendan Fraser, Arnold Vosloo, Rachel Weisz and Kevin J. O'Connor, John Hannah, and Oded Fehr did a great job in the movies, and the special effects were incredible in all three movies. Dwayne Johnson did a great job as the Scorpion King, and Jet Li did a great job as the Dragon Emperor. Nico-chan11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man, as usual. No everyone, I am not a pharaoh reincarnated in real life, but a lot of people say that I look like Elvis Presley reincarnated. But most of humanity did come from Egypt and southern Africa over the eons. The Cradle of Good Hope is where we all came from, and Egypt in the Fertile Crescent is where Egypt reached all of prosperity over the millennia and the biblical times, and much of the book of Genesis of the Bible was in Egypt. But mostly in the book of Exodus. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time. The Mummy 1999 is owned by Stephen Sommers and Universal Pictures.